bienvenue à tous. Cette conférence de presse va être en anglais et en français. Vous avez la possibilité d'avoir une traduction pour l'anglais, le français et l'italien avec vos écouteurs. Thank you for being here. You're very welcome in Locarno Film Festival. It's the press conference of Sibel, which is here in the competition, and it's shown, of course, as a world premiere. We are very lucky to have with us a beautiful team, and I will introduce with possibly, well, trying to pronounce the names as best as I can, but please don't hesitate to correct me. I will be happy to have your help. So first, the two directors that are here, we have Cagla Zencirci. Great! And Guillaume Giovanetti. They are here for the second time since they had a short film a few years ago. It's the third feature that they are presenting here, and no, not that they are that they have directed, but first long feature that they have here. They've been working together for a long time already. All the short films were in Berlinale, in Clermont, in Locarno. Their first feature, Noor, was presented in Cannes in the acid section, and then in 2013, Ningen was in Toronto Film Festival. We are also lucky enough to have the two actors, Damla Sonmez here, who plays Sibel, as of course I guess you recognize. She studied theatre in Paris, as I read, I think, and she's been now playing in cinema and in theatre since 2009. We also have the pleasure to welcome Erkan Kolçak-Götzendi, who is a writer, a director, a singer, and an actor, playing a lot in Turkey with he also studied theatre, and he plays in various TV series and now in short films and now also in cinema. We also are happy to have two French producers here. We have Rami Massala and Marie Legrand from Les Films du Tambour. This film is a French, German, Turkish, Luxembourg co-production, and so we have the two producers here from Les Films du Tambour. I hope you have a lot of questions. Already.
Okay. Sorry,
no,
can I?
Okay. No, I have something to know, but if you have,
Complimenti per il film, veramente bello, mi ha colpito iniziare la giornata con un film del genere, è un buon modo per iniziare il lavoro e ripeto?
So, one second, sorry, just to, you can put this in order, and here you have a translation from Italian to English and Italian to French.
Ok, complimenti per il film, veramente bello, è un ottimo modo di iniziare la giornata con un film di questo tipo. Volevo fare un po' di domande. Prima ai due registi, anzitutto com'è nata l'idea della storia e com'è lavorare in due ad un film, come avete sviluppato il lavoro, come ve lo siete diviso, perché di solito il regista mette una sua idea nel film, invece lavorare in due è molto diverso. Mentre volevo fare una domanda a Damla, anzitutto complimenti perché è fenomenale, penso sia il tuo primo film, your first movie.
Thanks.
Il tuo primo film?
Actually, it's my 11th, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry for that. But thank you, because that's, you think that I'm fresh.
Yeah. Really compliment. And volevo sapere come hai lavorato sulla recitazione, sul imparare a fischiare, a comunicare, perché proprio si capiva, era una recitazione abbastanza atipica e molto interessante, volevo sapere questo, grazie.
Actually, can I just talk without these? Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. I read the script 2 years before we started. No, we met Cagla and Guillaume 2 years before we started shooting, and then the next year they sent me the script. I mean, the first time we met, we just said hello to each other, and they told me that they are thinking about making a film like this. And 1 year later, when I had the mail in my mailbox, I was very excited, very happy, because I feel like I really do knows Sibel. Sibel is a part of me. Sibel is a part of every woman, I guess. With the technical part, I didn't even know to whistle like this. So we had this amazing whistling teacher like from Pushkar, from the Black Sea. I'm shaking right now, I'm so sorry. From Pushkar, from the Black Sea region of Turkey, and I went to the village several times. I stayed there. I worked with him. I was sending videos to Cagla and Guillaume like at 3 in the morning, whistling. And also I needed to. It was also a difficult character for me physically. We trained with special trainers, with a special trainer. But for Sibel, she's a young girl who lives in a village where women are not that welcomed, and they in a village like this they want you to be a certain type of woman. They have dreams for you. They don't let you have your own dreams. And actually, it's a story about growing up, finding the inner strength, and chasing her own independency. So, psychologically, it wasn't a very far away. It was
within that distance.
Yeah, it was not within that distance to understand her.
But it's very funny because very early in the process of designing the film, we thought about Damla even before we met. So for us, she was always the character that we would work with. So it was like very direct connection between the three of us. So it was an interesting process. And maybe you want to answer the first question?
Yeah, maybe you can put your headphones because I will answer in whistling language. I think you understand that. So exactly. So this is Sibel. So about us working together, actually we started to work together 15 years ago, and we only work together. So we do not know how to work separately.
Yes.
I wouldn't be able to do any films if Guillaume was not there.
Same for me.
And how we proceed, it depends really on the project. One of us has an idea, the other one develops it into a very small synopsis, then we exchange ideas, it becomes a treatment. And most of the time we are separating our roles depending on the project. During the shooting, sometimes I am more with the actors and Guillaume is more with the technical team. But sometimes we are changing our places. For example, for our Japanese film again, we started to shoot as we knew. And then we had to change places. I had to be with the technical team because the Japanese actor needed a more masculine energy from Guillaume. So it's really, we are adapting to the situations, we are changing places. I don't know why my voice is giving this very language. Yeah. So this is how we work. And for Sibel, it was the case that we went to Kuşköy and we spent time there. You will see in the film, and you see it already, the room of Sibel is actually where we stayed during our previous journey there. We stayed in the mayor's house. He was welcoming us really in a very, very kind way. And then we started to develop the project because we were sitting the whole day long in the coffee of the village, where everybody is sitting there, and there's only one road going through that village. And when you sit there, actually every 10 minutes you have a fiction feature project subject going on. And we're just sitting there and observing the village. And we have met a very young girl that we thought that she was mute and speaking only with whistling language. And then we start to think about it. And the way that we normally work for our previous films is that we have always met people project, a script about them, and we make them act their own role in our films. And it is the first time that we are having the opportunity and the huge luck of working with professional actors here, because we also wanted to evolve in our filmmaking. And then when we have met this new lady, and then she disappeared in nature after some time, we started to write a script. It was not easy for us because every time we write a script, we already have a face, we know the person. But when we were going through the script writing, we needed a face. And it was from the beginning Damla Sonmez. That's why we have met really prior to the shooting, just to see if we could click together. And she was actually great. And as she said, I'm very much interested, but I do not know how to resolve. But it shouldn't be an inconvenience for you because I will learn. And this desire of being part of the project, actually this is what we are looking for in people. So we are very lucky to have you.
I'm very lucky to have you.
Thank you.
Dunque io e complimenti per il film. Allora, quello che colpisce nel film, al di là del cammino di iniziazione di una giovane.
Wait. There's no translation, so we can
No?
Now we can.
Ok. Arrivato?
Va bene, prego.
Allora, al di là della bellezza di un cammino di iniziazione di una ragazza, ragazzi, lo facciamo tutti quanti il fischio? 1, 2, 3. Perfetto. Beh, allora ripartiamo dall'inizio senza i fischi. Diciamo complimenti per si sente? Complimenti per il film, che al di là di essere un film sul cammino di iniziazione di una ragazza alla coscienza dell'amore, e questo è un cammino molto bello che questa ragazza compie, c'è un lato politico del film che è molto importante, che non è solo il lato sociale, le bambine che invece di andare a scuola si sposano presto, ma è anche un lato politico importante. E in un momento come questo che sta vivendo la Turchia, volevo capire quanto forte era la vostra idea proprio la vostra idea politica in questo film.
C'è due che non funzionano.
Thank you for the question. It's a very important one. Normally, the way that we are doing our films, we do not claim our political views on the films. What we do, actually, we are trying to consider human being in a certain place and how what's happening around and what's happening in the country has an effect on that person. So, of course, all of our films are political because politics are there as a background, as a decor, like I keep saying. They are there, but we do not emphasize on it. It's the case of Sibel because Sibel is not only, as Damla also said it very nicely, it's not only the profile of Turkish women. You can have Sibels anywhere in the world. It's very universal in that sense. So we do not really confine ourselves into a political view while doing our films, but we are trying to consider what's the impact of what's going on in the world and in the country has an effect, if it has, on our main characters. So this is how we proceed.
And one of the political aspects also in the film is how people see the stranger, the one which is outside one's community, and the confrontation between what they are and what that stranger is. And that was very interesting for us to deal with this subject in the film because a not only in Turkey nowadays, but worldwide, I would say, people are getting more and more afraid of who is the outsider of their society, city, country, whatever. So I think it was very important to show that you can be afraid of the person who is coming outside, who is the character played by Hakan here. But on the other hand, it was very interesting for us that the character of Sibel would kind of look at that person in a fresh way without being straight afraid of that person, and then see what could arise from it. And I think it's important for us to underline this.
And just to add also to his point, because Guillaume is mentioning the outsider, but whenever you want to have a very clear idea about a society or a country, if you are focusing on who the society is excluding, then you have a very clear idea of the society. So all our films actually are going around those excluded people. When you see who the society excludes, in our case now it's Sibel and Ali, so those two characters that normally have nothing in common, they are both excluded from the society they are living in. So then you can have a clear idea of how society looks.
Effectivement, je rebondis sur la question de tout à l'heure, parce que dans tous vos films, il y a ces personnages qui sont peut-être marginaux, n'est pas le terme exact, mais qui sont un peu différents, rejetés souvent par les coutumes locales. Mais pour la première fois, vous êtes en Turquie. Alors, pourquoi vous avez attendu autant? Parce que la Turquie est un pays où l'altérité est quelque chose qui est omniprésent, les contradictions sont multiples et on utilise même ces différences et cette altérité comme moyen politique. Donc il y a beaucoup de métaphores, beaucoup d'allusions à la situation politique d'une façon très subtile. Mais dites-moi pourquoi vous avez attendu autant pour commencer à tourner un film en Turquie dans la continuité des thèmes qui vous sont chers.
Merci beaucoup pour la question, c'est très intéressant et très... sorry, I don't know which
Non, tu peux parler français parce qu'ils traduisent.
in English. So thank you very much because you actually know a lot about films. You are following us from the beginning, so you actually observe how we developed and evolved in our subjects, and you really know that we are just going to exactly the same way of filmmaking, but trying to do it in other parts of the world. And why we had waited that long to come back to Turkey, I think filmmaking is about having some distance to your subject. I lived in France for the past 15 years and I never thought that I had enough distance to my own culture. So for making Sibel, it was the right moment for us both. That we thought, okay, it's now, we have the right distance to our culture and we can now say things about it. Without being too much into cliches, without being too much outsiders, but just a middle way of talking about our country.
And I would add that also the situation in Turkey now is not good, so to speak. Politically speaking, socially speaking, artistically speaking. We could see, for example, 10 years ago, how creative the country was, how the films were being done, and there was very kind of golden age somehow. And now it's not the case anymore, and that's the reason why we needed to make that movie at that moment, because it's our duty. We won't make films in places where it's easy to make films or where everything is okay and so on. We have to come in a place at the worst time to do our work. So this is also one of the reasons why we decided to make that film at that moment.
Wonderful script, an amazing way of directing, a big quality actress. Even Ali was perfect, and even the father. So thank you very much. I read it as a movie on boundaries, which are social, political, even linguistical. Do you agree with that? And also, how do you think it could be accepted by the village if they are going to see it?
Of course they will.
We are talking about them.
Yeah.
I don't think they will invite you anymore when
Well,
the waiters us.
You cannot imagine the number of SMS and messages I'm receiving, since this morning saying, wow, we'll see that film and everything. But anyway, we are doing our films that are totally implemented in a culture. So what we do that they are always taking part, even from the beginning in the script writing, they were taking part in the story, giving ideas. Oh, this one we could do it like this, and the other one we could do it like this. So somehow we base our fiction characters on what we have seen. So they are part of it, and they will see it, and I hope they will enjoy it, because it's the first time that this kind of thing is happening to them. We even want to, have some kind of a open-air screening in the schoolyard of the village, so we can make, a huge screen and the whole village is there, and we are watching this all together. And about the linguistic aspect of it, I will just leave this to Guillaume, because it's his expertise domain.
You mean like the language? Or the
How we not project this thing.
Yes. We basically most of the time start to work on a project dealing with languages and communication, and how communication is possible between characters that should not have met, in spite of their past or what they are and so on. So this film in particular started when we actually learned from the whistle language. We learned about it a long time ago, and then we went to actually see it, and then we see how people would communicate and so on and so on. About the boundaries, I completely agree also with what you said. It is a film about boundaries. Most of our films are about boundaries. Where are those boundaries, and how the people who define a society define those boundaries, and how we can extend them or not. And most of our characters, and it's the case of course of Sibel and also of Ali, are kind of putting those boundaries away and breaking those boundaries. How can they break them or not? I mean, these are subjects that are really interesting for us and that we deal with.
Especially between men and women, what women can
Definitely.
do, and very interesting. Thank you very much.
I mean, what was interesting for us also was this subject of this wolf, because the wolf is like kind of a pretext used by men just not to make women, get out of their boundary of the village, and that's why the character of Sibel is very important, because she somehow was not raised in the same way than the other women of the village, so she has somehow a kind of freedom, like which is accepted by her community somehow, because she's not a real, so to say, like classical women somehow, and so on. And so as she's not in those boundaries, she can go away, and she can be the one who will kind of break those things with the wolf.
She can also be seen as a man, especially in the beginning. She's so strong and energetic. Do you think that people are scared of her, not only by the fact that she's mute, but also because she has a double energy, both feminine, very beautiful, and both a man energy? That's why maybe the other women are scared of her, because she's strongest.
Definitely.
When you are considering women of the region, they are all very strong. We have this very interesting memory, because we were just wandering in the village with Damla. It was our first time together there, and we saw those two women like loaded with nuts, but huge bags in their
This
bags.
big bag.
And they were just coming back from the mountain. They were small nuts, and then they just came and they stopped to have water because we were at the water source. And they put those bags there, and I told Damla, we want to carry it just to see. And the woman said, you cannot carry that. So, Damla tried to carry it, and I was saying, it should be really heavy, but I was really trusting myself. She said, I'm taller, I have power, and I couldn't move that bag. And they are just making all this mountain road. Women are extremely powerful and strong. That's why we actually shaped Sibel's character according to that. That's why she's not that different from the woman there. The only point where she is different, that she's free. Free from all those boundaries that we are putting all over the world, not in Turkey. When you are a woman, you have to do certain things. If you don't do it, then you're not a woman. So that's why Sibel is free at that point. I think it's more her freedom that affrays her.
I'm sorry, we have to finish, but since we really are lucky enough to have the producers, and maybe also the last word for you, could you tell us a bit about, it's a very solid project with 3 or 4 countries, and tell us how you met the directors, have you been following them with the previous movies, and where did you meet it, and how you got involved in the project? Since you're
Sure. Can I make it in French?
Yes.
Non, effectivement, on a rencontré Charles et Guillaume au Festival de Cannes il y a 3 ans. 3 ans tout juste, ils avaient une idée de synopsis. Donc il y avait vraiment 3 lignes, une jeune femme muette qui siffle dans la montagne et l'idée d'une émancipation. Et voilà, leur précédent film était extrêmement beau, solide, intelligent, humain, donc tout était fait. Donc on a signé sur 3 lignes. Et à partir de là, ça a été une superbe aventure parce que mine de rien, les temps sont très longs dans le cinéma, mais ça n'a pas été très long. Ça a été 1 an d'écriture et ça a été 1 an de financement. Voilà, donc c'était un petit peu la difficulté, on va dire, c'était de faire un film en Turquie, mais à partir de la France, puisqu'on est effectivement tous basés en France. Et voilà, très vite l'idée de la coproduction avec l'Allemagne a émergé, l'Allemagne étant aussi très proche de la Turquie, culturellement. Voilà. Donc la coproduction avec l'Allemagne, et puis on a rencontré Marcel en Turquie, qui est aussi distributeur, distribution. Et le Luxembourg est venu se greffer à la fin, ça nous a permis d'avoir l'image. Voilà, donc c'était une très belle aventure avec un tournage extrêmement difficile, dans une zone extrêmement reculée, loin de tout hébergement, épuisant, mais en tout cas une super expérience.
Can I just add something? Because as directors we have been through lots of experiences with films, regions, stories, producers, actors, and I'm really very glad that Maria and Hani had the right instinct, and as she says it, they signed only on 3 lines of synopsis. They had such an instinct about the project and the way that they financed it. It took them only 1 year to finance that. So the film is never done alone, and we are so grateful that they picked us as their project. Yes. And also, I think it's my voice. So we have worked with really extremely talented people, Hamatasi for the script, and also all our team, all our working team, they did their best. And as I said, it was a difficult shooting, but I have actually no doubt about that. Everybody did their best to the last extent. We have also very nice memories with Arkan that we actually forgot in the hall at one point. He was there in the hall,
Relax.
And there was another problem somewhere in the shooting, and then we forgot him in the hall, and he never complained about that. So. Never, not even once.
Someone fell in the hole.
Yeah, I mean we had some problems, but having such a professional team invested in that project, like if it was their own project, it was a luck, and I hope we will just build the experience again. And also thank you, Eric, Majes. We are very much glad that you picked us too. And hi Thibault, you are there, I see you.